Hello, good morning everyone. My name is Dr. Anis Villaga. I'm a Honduran dentist, and this video will be showing you how to use ADEA CAAPID platform. First, we're gonna go to the ADEA CAAPID website. Right there, we can scroll down a little bit and we will see this option that says apply to CAAPID. So you wanna go in there. And once you're in there, this is the page that it will show you. If you already have an account, then you can just log in with your username and password. But if this is the first time you hear about CAAPID, you can create a new account and then you will be redirected to this. Okay, here we are going to put all of our information. We're gonna fill in our name. We're gonna create a new password for this account, and we have to agree to the terms and conditions so you can read those. And then we also have this question. They ask us if we are like in an European Union country. Usually we want to click no in there, but if you are, you want to click yes. Once you selected or check these two boxes, you will be able to create an account and it will take you to this screen. We have like many different steps that we need to follow so we can fill our application. I'm gonna show you each of them and the information that they ask you for. We are going to start by filling the personal information. Here, the first thing that you're gonna see is the agreement of ADEA CAAPID. So this is an agreement that you are doing with the platform of CAAPID, and you can read all of this information, but basically it says that you agree to respect the terms and conditions that they have, and that you're going to behave in a professional manner. Even if you call or send in an email, you will not be rude or anything like that. Basically, it says that we need to follow the ADA principles and code of ethics. Once you already read all of that, you want to click the box right there, and then ADEA CAAPID will also ask you for permission to release your contact information to university. So we want to click yes in there, and then we have some additional terms. ADEA has like they do not do any kind of refunds, or they have their own terms on refunds policies and some other things. You want to read those and just click accept, and then we want to save and continue, and then we are going to proceed to our biographical information. In here, it will be, our name will be already filled in from when we created our account, but I will recommend you to use the name just as it is shown on your ID, like on your green card, on your visa, or on your passport. Then it will ask you if you have used like any other name, if you have any documents in where your name is different. This could apply like for people who come here and get married and they change their last name, so the resident card probably will be with a different last name than their dental degree. So just fill that information in, and then it will ask you if there's a preferred name that you want. So if you want them to call you like the name that you got on your ID or the name that you got on your documents, you can choose whatever you want there. So just write it down. If you don't have any comments on that, you can leave it blank also. It will just ask you to fill in your date of birth, the year, the city, and the country, and all of that. Then we're gonna save and continue, and we're gonna go ahead to the contact information. It will ask you for your address. It will ask you for your email address. Just make sure to use a email address that you're using up to this date, because you're going to be receiving a lot of information there from ADEA CAAPID. All of the notification will be sent to that email as well. They're also going to ask you like if the address you put in there is your current address. If you select no, it will ask you to put your permanent address, and just fill that information in there. It will also ask you for your phone number. It doesn't have to be a United States phone number, but it's better if you do have a United States phone number, because that's the phone number where universities could actually contact you or try to communicate with you. But if you do have an international number, you can put your international number and it will still work. Then it will ask you for your United States legal status of residence. Then we are going to fill in here some information. The first thing that it will ask you is if you're a United States citizen, or what's your citizenship. Then you can choose your country, and then it will ask you like if you have dual citizenship. If you do, you can click yes. If not, just click no. And then if you have like a permanent resident card, then it will ask you for the information on that. If you don't have that, just click no. and it will ask you like what kind of, if you are on a visa, it will ask you what kind of visa you have, and there we have a drop down with all of the visa options. If you have something different, you can click other, and then it will, there's a little box where you can explain a little bit about your situation here in the United States. Next step is to fill information about our race and ethnicity. The first question it gives us is if you consider yourself Hispanic. If you say yes, it will give you some options. You can say if you're Mexican, Puerto Rican, from South America or Central America. You choose any option that you want. If you click no, then you just go to the next question. The next question is about race, and then you can select as many as you want in that question, and then you just save and continue. These are the only two questions. Here we already got to the final slot on this biographical information. That is our first step. First, it will ask you fill in your DEN PIN. If you don't have your DEN PIN yet, there you can see the link where you can actually, it will take you to the ADA website for you to obtain your DEN PIN. This is very important because you will need it to be able to upload the results of your INBDE. They will ask you like what's your main language. If your main language is English, you can select English, and then you can add more languages if you want to as well. And then at the end, it will just ask you like two questions. If you ever had like any kind of license infraction, like that means that if you ever had like any kind of problem with any license that you had, that they had to remove the license from you, we usually want to hit no in there. But if you had, you want to be very honest and say yes. They will also ask you if you have any relatives in oral health. I don't know, this question I find it like kind of interesting that is there. But if you do, you say yes, and you can like describe a little bit. If you have like your father who's a dentist or has a specialty or whatever, you can describe. In my case, it's no. And then we just want to save and continue, and with that we will be done with the first section of CAAPID. We want to move on to the second section. This will be about your academic history. So in here you have to have some documents ready. So the first things that we want to do here is to add the college that we attended. If you attended different colleges, and just be mindful that if you write here two colleges, you must transfer the credits and those two colleges. First, we want to write the name of our college, and then we are going to click on yes, because usually we already have our degree. Then we select degree awarded, and then you're gonna enter what kind of degree you got. Usually is Doctor of Dental Surgery, so we're gonna look for that option on the drop down. Once we find it, we're gonna put the dates that our degree was awarded. This will obviously be different for everybody, so you put the date that your degree was awarded. And then we're gonna go to the major option. For the major, we're gonna look for the option that says dentistry. And if you had a minor, I didn't have one, so if you had one, you select whatever minor you did. If you didn't have any, you can choose none or no answer. And then we are going to continue. Like then it will ask you what kind of semesters your university use, and you can choose whatever they did, and you can also add another degree if you have one. So when we go to the next section, it's about the college that we just entered. We just need to put some more information. If that parent school was on your degree, but that was not actually the school that you went to. You went to a regional center, then you put the parent name on the first option, and then the name or the site of the school that you went to in the second one. Then it will also ask you the country where you go, what's the name of that degree that you got from that school. You also have to enter what was the year that your degree was conferred to you, and then we have another question, and it's asking us how many years was our program. So for example, in my country, I did 5 years and 1 mandatory social service year. So for me, it was 6 years program. So then it asks you later, like, does this include the mandatory rotation or no? You can select there yes, no. This section, they also ask you about if your classes were taken in English and if your school uses GPA. In my country, we do not use GPA, and our main language is not English, so I click no on both of them. So if it's different for you, just click yes. At the very end of this section, we have a very important box where we can put some additional information. This is very important for that the people who have like any kind of problem that you were working and you have to leave university to do that, or you have any kind of family issues or anything like what I had a strike in your university, you want to use that box to explain why it took you a little bit longer to graduate, or why it took you a little bit less to graduate. It could be also like the case. You want to use the space to explain a little bit briefly. Of course, you don't want to do like a very big testament that nobody will ever read. Try to be brief. Another section where they ask us if we have ever applied to any other dental US school. So the first question, they will ask you if you ever applied to any other US dental school, if you ever applied to any other US dental program like an internship or externship, residency program, or anything like that. If you have done it, then just say like yes. And then they also ask you if you have ever applied to any health degree program. That could be like a master's on public health or anything like that. If you've done it, just click yes. And then they have some other questions about like if you ever had like any kind of academic refraction. That's like if you had like any trouble, like they caught you cheating, or you ever had like any infraction like that. You just want to be very honest. Then we have two more sections that are very easy to fill. It will ask you the ADA standardized test. It will ask you about the ADEAT, about the NBDE Part 1 and Part 2, or the INBDE. If you have taken any of that, you just have to answer yes, I have taken, or no. Whatever is your answer for those, you can just fill it. Of course, we want to fill this application where we have already passed the INBDE. Section number 3, I feel like it's one of the most important sections in CAAPID. This is your supporting information. The first section that we have in here is evaluations. These are our recommendation letters. All universities want 3 evaluation letters, so you have to find people who wants to talk about you and say nice and good things about you. And here we can request. Remember that in here we are not going to be uploading these letters. We are going to request to our evaluator, and we're gonna send them an email. And here we will be able like to say like, hi, good morning, doctor, whoever doctor you're writing to, and explain a little bit. I'm trying to apply through ADEA CAAPID to a dental program. Can you please help me write in a recommendation letter? Remember that we have to be very polite and just follow and act in a very professional manner. That's what we agreed to when we started this application form. We will add this person name, email, and their title. Like he's like professor, if he's a specialist that you work with, whatever he is, you add his title, his email, his phone number, and send him an email. And then ADEA, what they will do is that they will send them an email and a step-by-step on how to open an account with them so they can accept and then upload your letter of recommendation if they want to. And once they've done that, CAAPID will notify you that they had already accepted, that they had already submitted your letter of recommendation. When we write their information, we can also add a due date. So I will do it like at least a month, so the other person has like enough time to create their account and to do your letter and then to upload it. Also select if we waive or right to read the letter or no. That's your choice, but honestly almost everybody does waive the right, because universities feel like it's better if you don't even know what the letter says and you're still sending that to them. Is because you know that that person probably will be saying like good things about you. Adds a little bit of trust on you if you waive it, but it's your decision. You could say no, and you can actually be able to see whatever they wrote. We are going to go to the next section, which is experiences. So this is like your resume. Here you're gonna be able to put every experience you had, and even if it was something minimal, just add it in there. And I do recommend that it's experiences you had after you graduated from dental school. You have a drop down and you can choose what kind of experience. This can be dental related, volunteering, working experience, research, any type of of the drop down that you have, you can add it in there. And if you go down, you need to have like a lot of information of your experience. So if you said that you work at a private practice for 2 years, you need to have the name of the practice, the name of your supervisors or the owner of the practice at the time, their phone number, the address of the practice, and then you're gonna describe a little bit about your role in that practice. And it will ask you like for how long you were doing so. Like for example, if you work 8 hours 4 days a week, you will write down 8 hours 4 days, and it will like do the math for you, and it will tell you how many hours you did what you did, like if it was volunteering, if it was working, if it was any kind of experience you had. Here in achievements, you can see that the drop down is showing you like the options that we have, and we have like awards, publications, and presentations. So if you have received any of those, like an award, it doesn't have to be like a Nobel Prize, you know. Like for example, I did that, I got my award because I got magna cum laude. Have anything else, like if you have given conferences and things like that, that's also something you can of course add into this section. And if you have like publications, that's also something very important, and I will definitely add that in here. Section is for licenses. So we usually have a license from the country where we are. If that license is still updated for you, you can upload it in here. It will just ask you to upload a picture and the date and the expiration date. You can upload that in here. And then you have the option to do other licenses as well. Most of us work here as dental assistants, so some of us will have like license for dental assisting, or some of us will have license for x-ray. You can upload that in there as well. And CAAPID give you the opportunity to write some other relevant information you may have. In here you can add anything that you were not able to add into the experiences because it didn't give you the option. Anything that you want to explain to them, I will tell you, like, just take advantage of every opportunity that you have to say something good about yourself to these schools, or to explain something about your journey to school so they can have a better overview of you. We got to the personal statement. The personal statement is very, very important. You have a limited amount of words. It says there is 2500, but if you do it in Word, I find it that is like around 700 words. So you don't have to do the 700 words. You have to do something that is nice to read for somebody who doesn't know you. You have to keep that in mind. You have to write for somebody who doesn't know anything about you and who actually like really doesn't care a lot about you. So you have to make them care or want to know you. That's what you have to keep in mind. So in here, I would recommend you to write your personal statement in Word or in a different platform. Draft it, have many people read it to help you check your grammar and to help you check that it's a good personal statement. And once you have it done, paste it in this little box and just verify that it's completely, that your statement, your essay, it's complete. Because sometimes I remember what happened to me that one time when I first did that, I pasted, and when I dropped down, I was reading it in here and it was incomplete, and it was because I had more words than the ones that I was allowed to. So just be careful with that. You don't want to send an incomplete essay anywhere. You want to be perfect. Last section, we have to add some documents in here. You wanna, I know it says degree, dental degree in all of them, but in here I will recommend you to add your dental degree. If you have a specialty or a master degree, upload your specialty and master's degree in here as well, and upload your transcripts in there as well, because your university will be able to receive it. So upload all of those documents in there and then save and continue. And we're going to the next section, which is very exciting because in here we are going to be able to add programs. So for this, we want to go to the top of the website and we're gonna go to add program, and it will take us to the finder. In here we can actually just write on the search bar whatever program we want to find, if we already have one in mind. If not, we can use the filter to see what's available. So we can do like past programs, we can do old programs, we can do available programs. So we can use any of these filters, and then we will be able to see the name of the university, the state, their deadline, how many months, and when are they starting, like if they start during the spring, during the fall, during the summer. You're gonna be able to see all of that information, and if you see a program that you like, you can just click on the plus sign and it will add it to your account. Once you added a program, you want to go to the program materials section. Once in the program material section, you will be able to see the program that we previously selected. So in this case, I selected the Mihari University because that's a program that's available right now. Once we click in there, we're gonna be able to see first some information about the university, and then if the university requires some additional information, we will have some other sections, like in this case we have questions and documents. Some universities do ask for some questions and documents, and some universities won't ask for anything else. So we can see is asking you some questions, usually these are questions very easy to answer. Go to documents, they will ask you for your resume. Some schools will ask you for this, some schools will not. Some schools can ask you for just for your scores, unofficial scores, like in this case they ask you for your resume, your unofficial score for the INBD, unofficial score for the TOEFL. But some other schools can ask you also for additional recommendation letters. So if you do have letters of people who have given those letters to you, or somebody who is willing to write one for you, you can ask them to do so. Once we have uploaded all of that information, we could go to submit application on the top of ADEA CAAPID, and then we will see the programs that we are working on or that we have already completed. And since this is the first program I added to, the price is $264, and then every other program has a lower price. If you had like 2 or 3 programs, it will give you like the total fee for those programs that you have in there. But you don't have to submit them all. You can submit one and then another, and then continue the same way. But in here, like if you can see, because I did not completed the information, I'm not even allowed to send it. But once I completed all of that information, I will be allowed to send my application to them. And once you have sent it, you could check the status of your applications by going to check status. In here we can also review if we have received like our TOEFL score, or official TOEFL score, or official INBDE, and if we have received all of our 3 letters of evaluation. So once we have received all of that and we have filled the program materials and all of our information, we are ready to send our applications through CAAPID. And yes, friends, that will be everything for this video. I really hope it was very helpful for you. And if you have any other questions about CAAPID or their platform, let me know and I will be happy to answer any doubt you can have for me. And I'm very happy to help you. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so I can continue to do these kind of videos, and just hit on the little bell so you can receive notifications, and like and comment on this video and share it with somebody who may need it. See you next time. Have a good day. Bye bye.